Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited because today we have another incredible speaker who's going to talk to us about Indonesia. But before that, let me share with you a little bit of what we're doing today. This is another virtual travel party. As you know, we have almost 60 episodes, and my goal is to cover all 193 UN countries with a different Latino to show the world that we do travel and that we deserve to be spotlighted, and also for our community to see themselves in these countries and at the same time feel inspired to follow their journey and travel to those countries as well. It is crucial that we listen to stories that come from people who look like us, because that is the only way we get to identify and we get to feel that we belong in those spaces. So with this being said, there are a couple of rules to follow for the people who are here joining us live. You're more than welcome to turn on your camera because we want to see your lovely faces. At the end of the presentation, there will be a Q&A, which means you are more than welcome to ask any questions that you have that she didn't cover during the presentation. And be active in the chat. You can ask questions, you can share your experiences. I will use those questions to ask her too. And but mute yourself because we want to make sure that we hear her presentation fully and that there are no interruptions. The replays will be available in our YouTube channel, and you can watch all of the others episodes that we have there already. So make sure you check it out and you may find something that you like. And remember that we're here to spark your curiosity for travel and to have fun, because traveling is fun and sharing our travels is even funner. So that's why we're here. So with that being said, today we have here with us Margarita. And look, I met her through the pandemic online, and we have been like everyday messaging, whether it's a meme or something like about bachata or anything Dominican, and we just have been vibing really well through the DMs. So now we decided to take it a step further, and she's gonna introduce you to her story, the love journey through Indonesia. And we're probably gonna come visit her soon in London. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Margarita. Thank you for being here.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. It was long due, isn't it?
Yes.
Long due. So today I'm going to take you through the love journey through Indonesia. And why is it a love journey? Is because it was my first time there for my honeymoon. So a bit about me. I am Dominican, from New York, and I've been living now in Europe 12 years. Today, it's been 12 years since I landed in France, but now I live in London. So it's been a long time since I left home. I went to France to do an MBA. I finished, met my husband while I was in between my thesis and so on. And then we moved to London. I've been here now for 9 years. So voila, here we are.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. Life is different, very different from the States. I do go back home often. It is past midnight right now. So the fact that I'm still looking like this time is like a miracle.
And your husband is sleeping already?
No. He's probably going to be eavesdropping somewhere. He's upstairs, but I'm sure he's going to come down and be like, you forgot to say this, you forgot to say that. Yeah, I guess I asked him, like, you want to join? No way. Absolutely not. I'm more the extrovert. He's the introvert. But I must say, all credit to him, he was the one that prepared everything for our honeymoon. I did nothing. Nice. I literally just showed up with my bags. Yeah. I had to take some notes from him, like, oh, so when did this happen? I remember something happened. So I had to, go back and refresh my mind. So yeah, let's go through that love journey through Indonesia.
Nice. I have my notebook ready to take notes, girl. Yay! I'm ready.
Okay, so I'll share my screen. Let's do this. Let's try it here. You would see it. Let's share. It's not starting. But while I get this working, let me just start saying that my experience in Indonesia has been absolutely magical. I've been there twice before the pandemic. We were going to go again, but it just, we couldn't, right? So we postponed and postponed it. And now we're just really waiting for the country to open up in order for us to go back and experience the beauty of it. It is quite a magical place, very safe. People are absolutely fabulous, marvelous, very welcoming. So whoever, wants to explore the other side of the world, go to Southeast Asia. I highly recommend it. Let's see if I'm able to share now.
Yes.
Maybe. So let me bring our faces down and hit present. Cool. So off we go, trip to Indonesia. Yeah. So we left from London. As I said, I do live in London. And we went from London, not straight to Indonesia, actually, because it's a very long flight. It's 15 hours. So what we did was we broke up the trip and we stopped in Singapore first, which is another nice place to visit. Singapore, and then from Singapore, we was there for 2 days. Then we went off to Indonesia. So Indonesia has 17,500 islands. Wow. And only, yes, and out of that, only 10,000 are habited. The rest are not, most likely jungle. It is a 15-hour trip from London. It is 20 hours from New York City. Time difference is 12 hours. So it is 7 a.m. of the world. They do speak 3 different languages depending on the island. I mean, 17,000 islands, so just imagine. And they have different religions. So depending on which island you go to, it will be a different religion. So we'll go through that. So where we went,
they speak so many languages. Did you find that they spoke English like a lot of people?
Yes. So a very important thing to mention about Indonesia, especially Bali, is that tourism for them is a blessing. So they try to learn as much as possible about all the cultures and other languages. So English was not an issue. Everywhere you went, people spoke English.
Wow.
So they're very, very thankful that we are even visiting. I'll get into that when we get to Bali. But if you look at the bottom hand side here, right? Sorry, but the thing went low. So here you see Java and Bali. So I'm going to cover this area right here. So as I said before, it is a love journey through Indonesia. Why? Because it was our honeymoon. We got married in 2017 and we went to Indonesia the first time in 2018. So the first picture is through our first hotel where it was my birthday. So they had a beautiful celebration, Balinese, Javan party, and it was a lot of food and music and special dances. It was really indulging into the culture, right? Getting one-to-one with that culture. The one on this side here was another resort. We went in the island of Lombok, which is west of Bali. And then here's like my husband trying to be funny, but joining into the fun as well.
The island of Lombok?
Lombok. Lombok. So let's start with the first one, Amanjiwu. So a bit about Amanjiwu. So Amanjiwu is in Central Java. And as I said, from Singapore, we took Aguda airline, which is a local airline, Indonesian airline. It was just an hour and change, 2 hours, I think it was. It was very cheap. It's a low-cost airline. So I highly recommend it. It's safe. It's reliable. We took it 1, 3, 4 times throughout this trip. So highly recommend it. So it's Agoda airline.
So you purchased like the big flight, leaving from London to Singapore, arriving in what airport?
In the Singapore airport. And then here is in Java. And I'll get you exactly the name because it is a bit complicated to say it. So the Singapore is okay. So it's very important to say that the airport that I went to is in Yogyakarta, and is Adi Sucipto International Airport. So in Yogyakarta is the closest airport to where I was in Amanjiru in Central Java. So we had a pickup. So we used the concierge to book all of it. And as I said, my husband was the one really managing and coordinating everything. So we got a pickup, which was 2 hours, nearly 2 hours from the airport. And it's worth saying that Indonesia, there are no traffic rules.
No traffic.
You just go with the
like
flow.
Dominican Republic.
It is so safe though. I mean, they have like they just get it. They just understand each other. You know, you flash, you beep a bit, but yeah, they are no traffic rules, so we were okay. So once we drove through through the roads, I really felt like I was feeling Dominican Republic. It's tropical, has a lot of fruit stands everywhere, temples everywhere. So, the scenery on the road to the hotel is absolutely beautiful. And then you go like off track a bit, you're like, oh, where are we going? Where are we going? And it's funny because Amaji was one of the top hotels in the world. It's one of those like luxury 5-star hotels, and you have that experience. Our transfer was booked through the hotel, not through the concierge that booked the whole package for us. So yeah, it was straight up, 5-star experience from the minute you enter that the transfer. So when we arrived, if you see on this hand side right here, so it's more like an arch, the building itself, and it's an arch because it is, I would say, thankfulness to the gods of the region, right? So when my husband saw it, he was like, the hell is this? Like, it was like in the middle of a town, the middle of a village. And he was just like, his face was completely like, oh my God, what did I just do? Then when you walked in, it was like a hill going down, and he just grabbed my hand really tight. And it wasn't like a good grab, like excited. He was like, oh my God, what is this?
What did we book?
Yeah. So as soon as we got out, you're welcome with welcome drinks, and you enter, and the first thing you see is the Barbudu temple, which I'll talk about it later on. And it was just like, ooh, I see that view is absolutely stunning. Like suddenly the minute you step out, you really like just indulge in nature, zen, in peace, tranquility. It was amazing. I mean, I get chills talking about it right now, actually.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
But getting there, you had no idea.
We had no idea we were going. Absolutely nothing, right? And then we had like girls, little girls just throwing like petals everywhere, for the welcoming. And just the lobby itself was an experience. So they walk you through, they give you, they offer you ginger beer, right? Can I just say that I enjoy ginger beer so much? I must have had, we were there for 4 days. I must have had like 7, 8 of them.
A day or during the whole time?
During the whole time, not giving me too much. During the whole time. Little did I know that it wasn't just like complimentary. I pay like $10 for each ginger beer.
Oh my God. Well,
at the end, when my husband gets his long thing, I'm like, Phil, he's like, what? How many did you have? It was so funny. Yeah, I probably overdid ginger beer a bit. But Amaju definitely is part of the Amman group, and it's and the name itself means peaceful soul, and that's really what you go there for. The kind of environment you find there is very quiet. It's very, very quiet. So anyone that goes to this resort just wants to detach, disconnect, right? And obviously honeymoon, as I was. It was great. You do have a lot of VIP going there, a lot of very, very important people. You have like Brad Pitt going there a lot.
Wow.
A lot of entrepreneurs tend to go here because it's very, very quiet. It's very secluded, really.
Yeah.
And the security, I mean, you really don't need much security because it's quite a secure environment there. But it was an experience. Our room was beautiful. We did not have a pool in our room because I think by the time it was booked, there was some issue about getting a pool in the room. But it's very common to have like a villa or your room that you swim into, from your room. There's a pool outside. Um, yeah, my trip was absolutely magical. We went to, on my birthday, my husband then booked us to go see the sunset of the Barbudu temple. Um, and in this one, so it's one of the largest Buddhist monuments in the world. And it is an experience. Anyone that really want to feel like another experience, right? And I'm not saying like religious, just, just a different experience of like an out of world, out of this earth. This sunset was it. I mean,
Wow.
people travel from over the world just to go see this view.
So
And it
were
was,
there a lot of people in that area because everybody's trying to get
you
the
know
same?
what? There was, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people from over the world. I saw some Brazilian there. A couple of Americans were there as well. And it's only a 25-minute walk from where we stayed in the hotel. But we didn't walk. We had the transfer take us to the temple. But definitely it is an experience. You have to climb a couple of steps, not many, not even like 30, I think it is. But as you walk around, you just start really like soaking in the energy. And it's a very peaceful, beautiful energy around the area. So yeah, Barbudu was just a bucket list. Done. So
Wow.
that was quite neat. And then on the same day, that's when we had magical barbecue party, around the pool, just to experience a bit more of what I'm going to do. An experience. After when we left from there, then we went from Java, Central Java. So if you think of like coffee, right? Java coffee is one of like the best one in the world. It's all from this area. I also have to say that we did a bike ride around a tour with a guide, and that was quite the adventure through rice fields. I was on the bike, so I really didn't take any pictures to show you all. But it's very nice because you start going to little villages, you stop, you have coffee with some people stop you, the children are always welcoming, like when you go like through our countries, right? You're like, oh yeah, someone new who's coming. So yeah, it was very, very welcoming. And then since the hotel is sort of like on a hill, then it goes down a bit. So imagine climbing that hill on a bike. The poor guy, the poor tour guy was like, oh, thank God you don't want to ride it up and we can get off. Because otherwise they would not get off the bike. If you don't get off, they don't get off. If you're cycling up, they'll cycle up.
So they're with you on the bike.
Well, everybody had their own bike. My husband and I both had our own bikes. But the guy was so thankful that my husband was like, oh yeah, I'm riding up this hill. And I'm like, forget that, not me. I'm not fit like that. So the guy was like, oh, thank you so much. Because otherwise I would have to, try to pedal up the hill on a bike. So keep that in mind, when you travel to these countries that they tend to go with what you are comfortable with. If you're not, and if you see, that they're not very pleased, just like read the body language and just ask. That's so, so important to point out. Definitely in Bali, they really, really tend to cater to tourism. So we want to be mindful of those extra activities that we do.
I know.
So
That's
from
wild,
here, sorry, say that again.
That's wild though.
Yeah, they really pay
stay in the
attention.
bike pedaling if you stay.
If you stay, they stay. If you get off, they get off. So yes. Then from here, after I stayed in Java, we hopped on a plane, which was 45 minutes an hour, and then we arrived in Bali. So in Bali was in Denpasar Airport. They have a couple of airports. So Denpasar, Bali is the international airport, and it is such a long line. You are there for a very long time. And it's important also to mention that whenever you enter Indonesia, you get the visa at the airport. You don't have to apply for it beforehand. So it might be worth just checking and make sure that that information is still up to date, depending where you come from, what kind of passport you have. You might have to get a visa get it before, but as an American citizen, we get it, once you arrive there. And be so mindful of what is allowed and not allowed in the country. Always read up on that because they're very, very strict. Like, for example, if I think about from Singapore, there are like restrictions and fines for everything. And that's the last thing you want when you're there. So please, get yourself.
Like, what kind of things do they have restrictions for?
Well, in Indonesia, not as many. In Singapore, if you chew gum, you get fined. So it depends. It depends. Definitely amount of money, what kind of drugs, medication, you have to declare a couple of things. But nothing out of this world. If you're going to Singapore, that's a completely different ball game. But Bali should be quite okay. So in Bali, let's move on. We went to Ubud.
So how many days were you in Java then? Or did you reach
Java with 3 days. 3 days in Java. Yeah, 3 days in Java. And in Ubud, we stay 4 days.
Okay. So you fly to Bali, but you go straight to Ubud.
Yes, which is a 2.5 hour ride. So once you get to Denpasar, right, we had our transfer schedule through to the company that we use, to the concierge company. So transfer was scheduled and they just drive you right up to your hotel. So a bit about Ubud. Ubud is the rainforest, is the jungle. So it's very green, it's very calm. It's a jungle, really, a lot of trees, a lot of fruits. So I found tamarind, I found, what's that? Passion fruit. So, the tropical fruits that we find back
here. Yum, my kind of place.
Yes. So I would walk around. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to find next? What am I find next? And my husband, who's like, has no idea what I'm talking. I'm like, oh, I recognize that. But the tamarind tree was definitely a hit for me. I loved it. I mean, I couldn't climb because it was very high, but the ones I fell, I was just like looking for the good ones. So yeah, so Ubud really is a rainforest. And one of the areas where the most famous rice terrace paddies are, it is full of Hindu temples and shrines. Mainly every home or most homes have a shrine inside. So when you go to Ubud, go to the rainforest and explore that area, which a lot of people do, what we did was the first bit of Bali, we went to the rainforest. The second bit, we went to the beach, which I'll touch base on later on. And it has one of the most Bali's famous landscapes, and it really does, because it is magical. It is beautiful. Everybody's in a little scooter, driving around, and there's scooters everywhere you move. I mean, there are cars, all types of cars, but there are little scooters everywhere.
Did you ride one?
No, I didn't. I wish I did. My husband would not be that adventurous this time, well, that time around when we went. So the center of Ubud is absolutely beautiful. It is filled with cafes and beautiful restaurants. That means every budget, by the way. Bali does meet every budget, from what, $30, $40 a night to like thousands a night. So what you got to do is do your research, check the areas. And, I'm not that big actually on reviews because I like to experience things for myself. But if you are, have a look around and find one, that's appropriate to your budget, what you're looking for. But here in Ubud was interesting because we did leave a 5-star hotel, a luxury hotel, and we arrived here in our hotel. It was nighttime, so we really couldn't see much, right? And we had to do like kind of walk, because it is like in a hill or in a mountain, I would say, to get to our room. So we get to our room and it's like a little cottage, very small, and we walk in and we're like, what is this? like what is this? So my husband looks at me. He is the picky one here. He changes room like in every hotel we go to, by the way. So we walk in And he's like, oh, welcome. And he's like, okay, thank you. The person shows us a room around. They leave, and we're like, oh my God, like, what is this? We were so shocked. And then I look down and I see like a gigantic spray of like baygon.
Oh my
If
God.
you guys are from the Caribbean or any
Mad
Latin country,
Dominican. Oh my God.
baygon is what you kill like roaches with, right? So we're like, oh my God, no way. Are you serious? Then we look around and there's like a roach right like by our feet. We're like, oh my
I
God,
will
what are
have
we
a panic
doing?
attack.
We were having a heart attack. So my husband right away calls reception. The guy comes, goes like this, picks it over his hand, dumps it outside. Off you go. That's it. It's done. We were like, disgusting. What? It was a shocker. It was a shocker. I mean, we just couldn't, like, I can't wait for tomorrow morning. We can stay in this room. So the next day we woke up, actually in the morning, we had like little animals walking like on the ceiling, like on the roof. And I just couldn't sleep. I'm like, oh my God, I know we're in the rainforest. Maybe some animals outside. I am not going outside. But yeah, it was a bit loud,
You had to bring a lot of bug spray, or not really?
Well, you know what? I don't really get bitten by mosquitoes, but my husband does. So he always have to like shower and bug repellent a lot. So that, yeah. But actually every hotel you go to, they have it for you. They provide you with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's also worth mentioning that every hotel you go to, they have like little hats for you. And like goodie bags as well. So it's really, really cute. Like the attention to detail is really, really special. So I really appreciated that. So the next day we did change rooms. So if I show you my pictures, so there's always this picture of Bali, right? That has this right here.
Yeah.
And it has like water at the bottom.
Wait, that's the place?
So it's like
but it looks so different on regular
yes.
pictures.
It's photoshopped.
In Photoshop, yeah.
So the way they do it, so you have like the person standing there, right? And then you have like it looks like they're standing on water or something. It's not. They put a mirror underneath, and that's just like the reflection. And so many people go around Bali looking for the shrine that doesn't exist.
Wow.
So it's so worth mentioning that it's not real. So sometimes when you see a place, right, on Instagram, for example, just hashtag and try to see what it really looks like, because there's so many places in Bali that are not what they seem to be on Instagram. When you go there, like, what in the world is this? Yeah. So that was one of the things that it was a rude awakening for me, because I actually wanted to have that picture as well. So that's why my husband said, I'm like, oh, whatever. It's not what I thought it was. It's like, oh, but I want the picture. Can you take a picture of me?
So how far was that from where you were staying, and is it worth even going at all?
You know what? There's so many of them. There's some that really are everywhere. So you're going to find temples all around Bali. I mean, where we're staying in Ubud, it is in the Ubud area within like half an hour, 20 minutes. You can visit like 5, 6, 7 temples, but they're everywhere. Everywhere you turn around, there's a temple. So you're not going to be short of options. So this picture was like our new room. So we got like a gigantic suite that had this kind of pool, not a plunge pool. So he was very pleased to see this pool that we just had access to. Actually, it's pretty nice because we have breakfast here as well. So in the morning,
the floating breakfast?
Yes, they could be like a gigantic thing, right? Filled with fruits and everything. They eat a lot of banana bread there too, by the way. It is banana bread central. Nice. Everywhere's banana bread. So you just eat it here. That's really nice. And then here are the rice fields. So let me tell you a bit about the rice fields. Well, when you see them, right, they look perfect. I'm like, okay, well, we're just gonna go check out some things, nothing special. So I went to a rice field with like flip-flops and white shorts. Little did I know that I was going to be climbing up and down the rice fields. I was like in 4, trying to climb up a mountain, trying not to fall. Please wear sneakers. Please bathe yourself in bug repellent, number 1. Sneakers. Do not wear white shorts because you're going to come out of there dirty.
Oh
It's
my
muddy,
God.
it's wet everywhere. And to be honest, this rice field we went to, I wasn't very impressed because there's so many tourists there. There's so many tourists there that you don't really see anything. So what you actually see on Instagram or like when you Google it, it looked nothing like it. The rice fields that I visited in Java were a lot nicer. And if you stay away from the main one, which I probably get the name for you, for the name for what, is Tegalalang. So Tegalalang rice field is the crowded one. It's filled with tourists everywhere. You have to make a line to pass from one side to the other. So many people. So I recommend just visiting others in the east of Bali that are very nice. But quite honestly, rice terraces are everywhere you go. You see it everywhere, so you don't really have to go to this one. But I do know that people like to go to them because they also have the swings. So it's like it's a trendy thing now, right?
Yeah.
To go to Bali and get on the swings. By the way, that thing looks so scary when I looked down. I was like, I am not getting on that.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm getting on that. No. Sorry, I'm not as
But
adventurous
you
as
were
other
like
people.
Thai, right? You're like tied to something or no?
No, you're not tied to anything.
What?
No, you just sit there and you swing. You have to hold on tight. That's all.
No. Oh,
No,
hell
no,
no.
no. I mean, maybe there are some that tie you, but I have not. That I've been to them like 3 times. I have never seen anyone being tied. So I'm like, no, I am not getting on that. And you actually do swing over the mountain and come back.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
Any of you will do it? But it is beautiful. It is beautiful. But this rice paddy, it's alone, is very, very crowded. So I definitely recommend that you go to other ones. And last time I went to Bali, I did notice that on the trees they have some rotating things, also very Instagramish.
Mhm.
And there's a line to get on those, and they're quite costly actually. It could be like $20 to $30 just to get on that.
Oh wow.
So explore, definitely explore other areas, which would be nice. Then this picture right here is just one of the water temples, which are everywhere you go in Ubud. Just it depends which one you want to see because there are like hundreds of them, to be honest. So just do your research and see which one you want to go to. And this picture, I put it here, right? Dinner with my husband, because we went to have dinner at the Four Seasons only because Obama was there the week before. I'm like, oh, Obama was here. Okay, well, so we're gonna go. So
I've done that though. I've gone to places. I'm like, oh, Michelle Obama was here, so I'm gonna go.
Oh, you see, I love our alignment. So yeah, and actually the hotel where we stayed in Ubud was Comaneka. I would say Comaneka is a 4-star hotel. It is nice. It's really, really nice. The service was amazing. It has great food, great views over the rice fields on the other side because they are everywhere. But yeah, I mean, for us, which is a shocker going for super luxury to a 4-star, but at the end of the day, it was absolutely amazing. We did pay extra to change our room and have a suite with a pool, but completely worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Do they have dress code to go into the temples?
You don't have to cover yourself. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So like bring a scarf.
Actually, I wish I had let me see if I click on here. Probably not, no, because I'm presenting. So my husband is wearing like a skirt, like a scarf around himself. Where that's a very important question. Yes, you do have to cover yourself.
Okay.
Well, they give it to you, by the way. So everywhere you go,
do.
everywhere we went, they have like hundreds of scarves, and you take it, cover yourself, go in. When you come out, you give it back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but if you have your own, you don't want to share what other people have used, definitely bring your own. But you definitely have to cover yourself.
That's great to know.
Good. So yeah, so Ubud, the town itself is, you can walk around, you can shop till you drop. There's so much to see, and there's so many foreign people living there. It definitely is a hot spot in Bali. You find foreigners everywhere. So the expat community is very big. And
What
I
is
do
considered downtown though? Like, is there a street that I should be looking for?
not necessarily. It's different when you go to definitely in Bali, because you have different areas where I would say districts, and within those districts, and you have like the road, like the high street, the main street, where everything is located. So in Ubud, you're gonna have a lot of markets, a long, big, gigantic market where you're gonna go shop. Then you have restaurants everywhere. It's a bit manic, a lot of potholes, I
Mhm.
must say. And you also have to visit the monkey forest.
Mm.
So if you like monkeys, definitely have to do the monkey forest. And just to let you know, you don't need to go in the forest to see the monkeys because they're everywhere, everywhere in the street. It is monkey overload. I kid you not. For me, I'm like, okay, we went for a walk and you see the signs, monkey forest. So as you go there, the first time we went, there weren't too many monkeys in the street. They were like hanging from the roof, from the electrical cords and so on. The second time we went, it was overwhelming. Like I literally was about to run. There were so many monkeys, and they take everything from you.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So
they
you gotta
still
be like maximum security, like covering yourself.
literally maximum security, and they're so smart. They just observe you, and just go, and off they go. So yeah, the monkey forest in Ubud is the place to visit. But if you like monkeys, stay away from that road. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say also that a lot of definitely in Ubud, a lot of organic places. The food is delicious. Obviously, the local cuisine is absolutely to go for. But if you want to try other things, yes, Ubud is a place to go. You find everything
Mm-hmm. Now,
from
what is the local cuisine?
um they have rice, so rice and eggs
Mm-hmm.
is um, the one and the name. Then a lot of noodles. I do eat a lot of noodles. Trying to think what else was one of the things. Actually, I have pictures at the bottom of different foods that
Oh,
we
okay.
had.
We'll
So
wait for that section then.
nasi goreng is definitely like the dish where you'll see the picture at the bottom. It is absolutely to die for. I think I had that like nearly every day because it was just so good.
Mm.
So from Ubud, we wanted to experience something else that wasn't just Bali. So we hopped on a plane and we went to Lombok. So Lombok is an island, like 30 minutes from Bali. And again, we had transfer to pick us up. And we stayed in this beautiful hotel called Tugu, and really is off the beaten track. It took us maybe like 35 minutes, 45 minutes to get to the hotel. Once you get there, I saw, as soon as I got out, the first thing I saw was a gigantic iguana. And I'm like, oh my God, the rainforest, they're animals, it's nature. But they stayed away from, where people were. But this hotel was absolutely beautiful. We were here for 3 days and it was just disconnect, right? And enjoy nature, enjoy the culture. This island is a Muslim island, so the food is different. Bali is a Hindu island, so the food is different. The culture is slightly different. The dances are different as well, depending on the island. So in Tugu, it was just very welcoming. The food was okay. So here's what the attention to detail that we got here. Every morning we get like a nice little message to us in a leaf. And the room here actually was very nice too. We had a beautiful room. Just that the bathroom was outside. So you literally had to go outside to go and
Did you go
enjoy.
out at night?
Yes, you did. Had to go out at night. Yes.
Okay, like, I'll hold it. I don't want to go out.
And I kept thinking, right? It's like, how are there any frogs outside? What's gonna happen? Yeah, you had to go outside. to go. So this specific hotel, my husband chose it because it was very, very Indonesian.
Mm.
So the owner of the hotels, they own a couple in the country, is very Indonesian, and they do have a huge collection of antiques from all over the world, especially Indonesia, but a lot of things from all over the world. So anywhere you look and turn around, there was a beautiful antique piece from his collection. So that was very, very nice. So yeah, here we have our sunset on the first day, which is absolutely beautiful to
Mm.
die for. And here's the pool. Everywhere you go is the pool. And you're able to go in and swim through onto the hotel, but you couldn't get out through this way to get to the hotel. That was, no, you had to go the other way because you're not gonna go from the, from the pool straight into the restaurant.
Mhm.
And then in this area, actually, very important thing to say, the beaches in Bali are not nice.
No?
If you are looking for beautiful, like, Caribbean style turquoise water, it's not going to be Bali.
No way.
So what I have here, these two pictures here are on the islands. So we went to the Gili Islands, and Gili Islands are three small islands between Bali and Lombok. And
Mm.
that's where you have the nice beaches. That's where you got that turquoise water, not in Bali. Unless you go to the north, which I haven't been yet, but the areas where I've been in Bali, the water is not nice. Actually, I have to say that in Bali, I've never been in the water. In the times that I've been there, I never go in. I stay in the pool because it's not.
Is the
It's not
water
water.
warm though, at least?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I didn't like bathe in the water, but I did touch it with my feet. It's yes, warm. It's not. I mean, it's a tropical country, so you are going to
Yeah.
have warm water. But in Lombok, yes, in Lombok, the water was much, much nicer. So when we went, we took a boat, which is the one here at the bottom. It's a beautiful boat, just for the two of us. And they prepare us a beautiful lunch as well to take
On the day. Like it's like a day
on
excursion kind of thing.
yes, a day excursion. Yes, absolutely. And we explore all three islands, right? But I actually have little fact about the island, right? So the main island is called Trawangan, and it gained a reputation between the 1980s and the 1990s as a party island, and still is the party island. So in Tangwan, which is in this picture here, is full of tourists. It's full of expats. They run the show. In this island, you could do snorkeling. There's a lot of snorkeling schools there. So there must be some very nice spots in the area. I did not try any water sports when I was there. But yeah, this one is huge. And also, the funny thing about this one island is that drugs were freely available on the island.
Mm.
Yeah. And it was free to go. So you have a lot of Spanish people actually going there that stay in this island.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not sure how it is now.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was beautiful.
Mhm. And then
Small.
they take you to two more islands.
Then they take you to two more islands, yes. So then we went to the smaller island where we just went around it, and then the middle island, we went around it, and the small one we actually got out, went around, had our lunch, and went in the water, which is very nice water. So there's Tagawan, there's Meno, and AIR, like air. So Gili Meno, Gili Air. Those are the three islands. And something funny about Lombok is that they say that it's what Bali used to be 30 years ago,
Oh wow.
before everyone started arriving. So it's not developed, not too many people. There's no traffic.
Mm.
You hardly see anyone in the streets, to be honest. It's very pure, very rustic still. And that's how Bali used to be before, people started going there in the 70s. Up until now it's so developed, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, on this island, another fact, I witnessed my first moonrise,
Oh, what is that?
which was magical. we were having so my husband scheduled a private barbecue for us on the beach. And suddenly we're just sitting there and we see like a light just coming up. We're like, oh, what is that? We just couldn't figure it out what it was. And suddenly it's like, a sunrise. But remember, we're in the southern hemisphere. We got a moonrise.
Oh my God.
And it was the most beautiful, beautiful experience.
So what time do you have to do that to be able to see it? Like right after sunset?
No, I mean, there was nothing planned. We didn't even know we were going to see it. We were just having a barbecue and we were sitting there having a cocktail, just looking up. And there was like this random light that just showed up, like behind the mountain. We're like, oh, what is that? And it just kept getting bright. I'm like, wait, is that the moon? And yes, it was. It was like a moonrise and just like completely went like over until it was like on top.
Wow.
It was beautiful. We were there like around like 10 p.m. local time.
Okay.
So that around that time, that's when we were able to witness the moonrise. But yeah, definitely that was magical.
Something so beautiful. Oh
It was. It was.
I'm
Definitely.
like itching now to go there.
Oh, you should definitely go once they open up because they have been getting hit quite badly with COVID. The last wave they had was, yeah, it like is wiping out the country. So once they open up, yeah, definitely, I recommend it. A bit more about Lombok. A lot of things there is like attention to detail and making your experience magical. They are big on spas. So every hotel we went to, there was like either a spa included or something well-being included. It could be a facial. It could go through like the water spas or massages. So if you're into spas and want to get a nice massage and relax while you stay in the hotel, definitely book it. It's so worth it. And it's very affordable too.
That's like me all the way.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's so affordable and they're quite good. Just be mindful on the pressure that you get because sometimes people coming out of there like we can't move.
Like you need a massage
So
from
yeah,
the massage.
do let them know. Definitely, yeah. My husband's like definitely always needs a massage from massage. And then another thing that's so important to mention when you arrive to your room, there's always a note. There's always a gift, right? And it's always like that welcome, like, oh, we're so happy to have you here. They're just so grateful really to have you there. So in our room, when we left, we were the last evening in Tugu, they're like, oh, Miss Johnny Telly, where are you going? Like, oh, why don't you go here? Let's give you, give you a drink. And they've really entertained us there. All we didn't know is that when we went back to our room, the whole like path to our door was filled with candles. And then they made like a heart right in front of the door.
Oh my
and then
God.
we're just like, they were just waiting for us to get there. When we opened that door, so this is the last picture here. It was the biggest surprise of our lives when we saw that. They made just like figures with towels. They wrote messages. They wrote something that we had spoken to them, excuse me, during our stay. So they take notes.
Wow.
Right. And they prepared this beautiful like setting in the room.
So they engage in conversation with you to get like information, and then they use that information to like treat you. Oh my God.
It was beautiful, beautiful. I mean, the path filled with candles was just like, wow. And then they're so happy. They're like, oh, did you like it? Did you like it? Oh my God, what do you think? What do you think? It was beautiful. So beautiful. And our bed was with the rose bed. Oh my God. You can imagine.
Nice.
So
yeah, you're gonna make a baby tonight. I'm just kidding.
One or two. How about triplets? Yes, the Lombok was definitely a very nice experience. It's important to mention when in this holiday it wasn't like about partying. It was really like just let me unplug. And mainly for me, because I was running a business at that time, I'm just like, I needed that break. So everything for us in this trip was just like
Mhm.
honeymoon. That's it. Honeymoon, right? So
Yeah,
enjoy. So that's why it's the love journey.
so nice. So you were here in Lombok for how many days?
3 days.
3 days. Okay. This is good because you could go for like a good 10 days and have a variety of things.
You definitely can. We did go back and forth a lot on the plane,
Mhm.
if you don't mind it. Yeah.
Just
it's
like half an hour, so it's not bad.
Yeah, they're short. They're quite short. But
Oh.
yeah, Lombok is beautiful.
So from Lombok, you went back to Bali.
Yes. So then we went back to Bali to experience the beach side of Bali.
Okay. Well, which you just said sucks. So you just came from a great beach to go here.
Yeah. So this one, it was an experience, and I'll tell you why. So we get to the airport. Was it no? It was an internal flight. Yeah, no, it was a long queue still, long line.
Mhm.
We're waiting to get picked up. We're waiting. My husband goes outside. They forgot to schedule a pickup.
Oh my God.
So we're like, all right, so what do we do? Where are they? So we had to call the guy back in London to find out. He's like, yeah, it's done. He's like, there's no one here.
Oh my
There's no one
God.
there. He completely forgot to, to schedule the transfer
So
to
how
the
far is
hotel.
it from the hotel?
This one was around like maybe like 30 minutes. But you
Okay.
have so many people
Yeah.
coming in and getting transferred, getting picked up from the airport. That is really overwhelming.
Mhm.
So at the end, we had to get a hotel to send us someone. So yes,
Wow.
make sure when you get your itinerary, you check everything,
Yeah.
because yeah, we ended up just wasting like, I don't know, like 2-3 hours there.
So when you went back, you were staying at the San Regis, or you just
We
went there
went
for the
back,
beach?
yeah, so we said the San Regis, we went back. And experience, but it was different. You could definitely tell that you were in a Western style hotel. So the experience is more geared towards the beauty of the hotel,
Yeah.
not really having an Indonesian experience.
Yeah.
All right, so this one was a lot of water. I mean, there were pools everywhere. So if you check out this hotel on Instagram, you're gonna have like the steps that I put here, and people modeling all over
Yeah.
here. But it was nice. It was very, very nice. We were here for 2 nights.
Mhm.
And it's worth mentioning that when we went to Gili Islands the day before, my husband had juice and got food poisoning.
Oh no.
So it was the juice and something else he had, and he got so ill. He
Mm.
couldn't figure out what it was, but the only thing that he had, although it was in a can, was the ice.
The ice. Yeah.
So
Guilty. That happens to me.
just be mindful, don't have ice, because
Yeah.
the ice is not, frozen with the same water, most likely.
Mhm.
So that was really poor, actually. He was very, very poor. He got very sick in the hotel. So our first night, we had this beautiful dinner schedule. He had to go to the doctor. So the St. Regis had a doctor on site, two doctors on site, actually.
Oh, that's
So
good. So you at least were in a hotel that you
we
could
were in the
get
hotel.
right
Yeah,
away.
he was looked after immediately. And then when the doctor would come into our room every couple of hours to check up on him, but yeah, it wasn't good.
Wow.
So no ice, people, no ice.
Mhm. So what kind of medication did they prescribe or suggest when you have food poisoning?
You know what? I really don't remember what they gave him, but they had like local
Yeah.
medication. I remember that because I did not recognize the names.
Yeah. When I was in Thailand, they recommended carbon pills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the same as if you were to have what is it called, the pink liquid?
Oh yeah, Pepto.
Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, but over there they have it in like actual pills, black actual carbon pills. And so when I got married, I put that I gave like a little pouch to everybody, and I had those pills in there. I'm like, you will need it.
Did they?
And they did. Because I'm like, I know. So for everyone there, if you could purchase them in Amazon or whatever before you arrive, or you could go to the like 7-Eleven over there and get them.
Oh, yeah, I do have 7-Eleven.
I arrived before everybody, and I went through all the 7-Eleven trying to buy all the packets.
It's a shortage. This is shortage.
Yeah, there was. Like I was like 7, and the other one 10, and the other, and I'm like, I need enough for 35.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this hotel was very, very nice. It's big. It's full of mainly foreigners, because also in Indonesia, well, in Bali, but we have a lot of foreigners from a lot of Europeans and like Westerners, I was just saying. You also have in Lombok and the other ones, Asian travelers, tourists, right? But in this one specifically, there were a lot of Westerners, really, a lot of Americans. I was staying there. But one of the things I thought, I'm like, yeah, it's a harmonious blend of culture, people, nature, and beauty. That's how I definitely would, describe this.
Did you see other Latinos there? Because I know you said you saw Brazilians when you were in Java, but like here or Lombok, do you see?
In Lombok, no. Americans, a lot of French were there. Now I saw some Spanish people in Ubud, but again, in some regions, but mainly French. So now, you know how our ears always like, tune in, like, do we hear something? No, I'm afraid. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was full of French people. But definitely some regions is beautiful. The people are very nice. Again, the service, and it was nice. Oh, by the way, you know what they do? They come and clean your sunglasses every like hour or so.
What? I've never seen that before.
They come, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They come clean sunglasses. They come and give you a coconut. They have like afternoon teas they bring you if you're like laying on the beach. Yeah, they do. Well, the pool. Yeah, they do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my husband was like, oh, Jeff, definitely. Here you go. Yeah, they do. No, it's definitely an experience.
So this is the first time that you went, or this is like
this is the first time we went.
Wow.
This is the first time we went. So yeah, definitely attention to detail at this hotel was just like impeccable, and definitely a great experience with the doctor, by the way. They were really coming or calling very, very often, just making sure that, my husband was like back on track in order to enjoy. And oh, by the way, the breakfast here is to die for, like from lobster, like to Balinese breakfast, Indonesian, different regions of Indonesia, to like Western breakfast, to die for. It is an experience going to breakfast here. And also, probably now with
the breakfast is included on the fee, or you have to pay extra for the breakfast?
Everything was included. Wow. So the package that we did, or the way my husband booked everything, was like we don't have to pay for anything unless we choose to go out. Yeah. Which we did a lot, actually. We wanted to go to different restaurants or hotels. Actually, I had tacos in Ubud, which was delicious.
Nice.
I'm big on tacos. I'm a little taco obsessed girl. Very good. So the cuisine there, it is very, very good, which then would take us.
You're gonna get me hungry now, girl.
So this is the nasi goreng right here. This is like the national dish, and it's the rice with a chicken, a lot of spices and herbs, and an egg. Delicious. You can get everything here. And here's my ginger beer, my most expensive ginger beer that I ever had in my life. Yeah.
What is the name of the national dish?
Kosi Duran. I'll send it to you. Hold on. I'll let you know exactly how it's spelled. Yeah. Hold on.
So that other picture there, is that like a tasting menu? Because you have like a lot of little dishes.
Yes, so this one was just, well, in this dinner, I think this was at Amanjiru, and they just bring you a taste of everything, what they have for that day. But you also go order a la carte if you don't want to have a tasting menu.
Amanjibu.
Amanjiru.
But this was not necessarily in the hotel, or this was.
This one was. This one wasn't. This one, no, only this one was in the hotel.
Okay.
Other ones were, the donuts were, yes, that was in Comaneca. That was in Ubud. This one. The rest of them were all different restaurants we went to visit.
And what is that last dish there? That's like
This
nuts?
is actually beef. Beef. Oh, you know, something very important to mention. So this is beef. This is like a bread that they have, right? The rice, guys. Forget canilla rice. Don't even get me started on the rice. That was the place where I had the most delicious rice you could. It's an experience having rice there because they have so many different rice. A whole variety of rices. They have like purple, black, the white. It has nothing to do with what we have or we grew up on. Seriously. Having
I
rice
could literally do a tasting menu of just rices.
Oh, just rice. It's so good. It's so good. I'm trying to get the spelling of the nasi goreng. Trying to find it. I thought I had it down in
maybe just like national dish.
Yeah.
And then it will pop up. Nasi goreng?
Nasi goreng.
Okay.
This NASI and then GORANG.
So I'm assuming like different places do it differently because I'm seeing it here like very different.
Yeah. It depends on the island, right? And depends also what they put on it. I think some of them, most of them use chicken. Use lamb. I had it with lamb as well. Probably if you want to explore more, probably with the beef, but it depends. Like if you're going to go to a Hindu island, most likely you're not going to be having beef, right? They probably make their own way, so it varies by island.
Okay, that's good.
But it is the cuisine tends to be quite light and quite healthy. Not everything is vegetarian. It's not, but you have a lot of options. A lot of options. Curry, depending on the island again. We use a lot depending on the spices that they have, the local spices, because they do tend to use, the things that they grow in the backyard or in the patio, the rice fields. So that's normally the cuisine there, but definitely is spices, seasoning, and herbs. I love it. Oh, and the drinks are good too, by the way. Great drinks.
Which drinks? Tell us more.
All type of drinks, like Western drinks. And I didn't have like a normal, like maybe I did. Maybe I don't recall if I did. Cocktails. I mean, well, no, I didn't. I normally have regular margaritas or like pina coladas are quite good there as well. So the cuisine was amazing. Really, really enjoyed it. But again, it all depends on your taste, what you like. There are options for every budget. So that's good.
That's good.
And then actually, I took a couple of notes down, right, about areas to visit, the ones that I've been to. So I have like Nusa Dua, which is where the St. Regis is. So Nusa Dua is located on the east side of Bali and is the area that has the most luxurious hotels. So if you're looking for luxury, Nusa Dua probably will be the area. And you have resorts, hotels, a lot of famous people go there if you like that environment. and great restaurants. So Nusa Dua is quite nice. Then we have Seminyak. I never seen Seminyak, but I went to visit just to experience it because everyone talks about Seminyak, and that's like the party place. They have bars everywhere, clubs everywhere, on the beach, you're dancing, restaurants that are on the beach, they have like gigantic speakers with like music, and it's the hot spot. And it's filled with young people of all ages, from 20s, 40s, 50, you name it. It is full of people, it's full of foreigners, expats that either live there or tourists. But yeah, it's a very, very fun place to be. And shops there are actually open very, very late. So as you can shop, you can eat, you can party, you can drink, you can do it all. And it's very safe. Yeah, it's so safe. Yeah. And then there was another area, Kuta, which I haven't been, which is also quite a hot spot. And then there's another one for the windsurfer, kite surfing, and water sports, but I haven't been on the area, so I really can't say much about that one.
Kuta, you say is that one, right?
Kuta.
I'm writing all this down, girl.
You
almost have me at 2 pages already.
Oh, you're right.
I want to know every detail.
Yeah, definitely Seminyak. If you want to go clubbing, that's the place to go. Actually, the second time we went around, we went as a family trip. And I wasn't impressed with the somewhere we stayed. We stayed closer, not close to the airport, not too far from the airport, maybe like half an hour. And it was more like family, quiet, dead quiet. So do research, depending on your age, when you're going there, if it's going to be, a singles trip, a girls trip, on your own, family, with your partner, boyfriend, husband, just research and see, which is the appropriate one. I mean, for a family one, it was fine, but we wanted to go for walks and stuff. No.
It was isolated. There was nothing there.
It was isolated. I mean, we had to like walk like 15, 20 minutes to get to the next town. Lively, you could walk around, enjoy the music, and great food, but otherwise, no, it was dead. It's like for families, boring families, not like my family. we wanted something lively, right? So that's when we went to Seminyak. We just rented a transfer that took us there, and yeah, quite nice. Definitely recommend it.
Good.
And that comes to the end of my slides.
Nice. Did you go like in the nightlife and experience the nightlife, or you think you do so much during the day that you're like exhausted?
But you know what? I'm not really big on nightlife. I'm good going to a bar and having a nice drink. But if it's partying, probably if I was at the beach. If I was, okay, maybe the first time around it was honeymoon, right? Romantic and so on. Second one was the family. The third one, I was like, I definitely want to go to Seminyak and enjoy some good dancing, because they do play everything. You hear it all around town. So yeah, music everywhere. So yeah, that's nice.
That's awesome. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the love journey to Bali.
It's definitely a love Indonesia. Story. Like you took us through a whole journey. Beautiful. So the second time you went, you only stay in Ubud with your family?
No, we stayed around Kuta, another area. I don't actually remember exactly what the area is called. So that's where we stayed. That's like the family area, very family oriented. But I could send you over exactly where it was. And then we just went with the kids to Ubud, so they can experience that, just for a day trip.
And you are going a third time. It was because you wanted to visit new areas, or because you wanted to revisit the areas you went?
No, new areas.
So what areas did you have in mind, and why did you want to go?
I wanted to Seminyak. I tell you, I wanted to party. It's like it's tickling me. I'm like, how is the nightlife here? No, I wanted to experience that. My husband, they wanted to go to the north. right? But one thing about me is like I am terrified of snakes. So the first thing I asked, I'm like, are there snakes here? The north is filled with snakes.
Oh, I don't
So
know if I can do
I
it.
would not be going to the north. So they tell you like, oh yes, of course. You see it in the garden all the time, gigantic big ones. And I'm like, you're telling me they were on, my husband's like, so yeah, we probably explore the north a bit, one or 2 days. It is very far from the airport.
Yeah.
The airport's like at the southern tip, and you have to go all the way up to the north. So it takes probably a couple of hours to get there.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy though.
I know.
I wouldn't do at all.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't.
Snakes.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so. But do they eat the snakes too? Because I know snakes are a delicacy.
I think
Some
that's
places.
all that. I wouldn't want to know if they ate the snake or not. Well, maybe it depends. I mean, it is most of it's jungle.
Mhm.
It's jungle. Actually, I have to say that we went to, was it with the kids? Or the first time we went for a tour of a town north. Oh, it's actually yes, and it's where they have the Balinese and Java coffee,
Mhm.
right? That comes out of the poo.
The cat?
Yeah. I didn't try it. I wasn't adventurous. I didn't. But it's plenty of places. There are plenty of places where you can try the coffee.
Mhm.
It's one of the most expensive one in the world too.
Yes.
And now I couldn't.
Do you like coffee? Are you a coffee person?
No, actually I don't.
Okay.
I don't drink coffee. My husband does, I don't.
But
I
when you
drink green
tried
tea.
it, did you like it?
No, I didn't try it.
Oh, you didn't. Your husband did.
No. Neither one of us did.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Are you saying that he poops it out and then what? And you make what out of it? But it is
It must
apparently
be
one of
good
the best.
though, if it's that expensive.
It's said definitely is one of the top ones in the world. So
Mhm.
yeah, good.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I know that usually like it costs like about $25 a cup or something.
Oh, that's it?
That's
I thought it was
supposed to be-
more.
I don't know, but a cup, just a cup. Now, if you want to buy a bag, I'm sure
It's an
it is like-
espresso.
Yes. Well, if anyone
But yeah,
has any
no,
questions,
overall,
go ahead.
yeah, do shoot with the questions.
If you guys have any questions, please write them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask questions about Indonesia, anything that you want to ask. She just went to a fantastic presentation about everything that is to do in Indonesia, in the cities of Java, in Bali, in Ubud, and also in Lombok. Lombok, with a K. Yes. Very, very cool. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I was supposed to go. I was gonna travel with my students, with my former students to Japan, and I had taken an extra week off to travel from Japan to Bali to spend my birthday by myself there.
Oh wow.
I was technically gonna be for a whole month gone.
Okay.
Yeah, because the trip with my students was like 12 something days, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna take like extra days for me.
Uh-huh.
And then COVID hit and everything went to shit, pretty much. Because I couldn't,
Literally speaking.
I couldn't do Japan and I couldn't do Bali for my birthday. So I'm looking forward to resuming my plans
Absolutely.
sometime soon, you know. And
When you do, let me know, and I'll tell my husband like give you like the whole itinerary.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you'll be like, oh, to the husband, bye. I'm going with Vanessa.
Well, I can do that too. Oh yeah, it's important to mention: do not travel there between October and April. It's monsoon season.
So it's raining a lot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and
So
that
you say October and April.
October through April is monsoon season.
Mm.
So it is depending which country you go in Asia, right?
Mhm.
Always look at the weather, the month that you're going, because it does make a big difference. Even if it's considering that Indonesia has 17,000 islands,
Mhm.
check the weather. and see how it is. For example, when we go to Malaysia, East Malaysia is good for half of the year and West is not. So always go and check the weather for that period that you're going.
So when did you go?
Summer, July.
Oh, in July. Okay.
Yeah, in July, which is not too bad. It wasn't overly hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't bad at all.
So I was supposed to go in April, like the end of April. So I
Oh,
probably,
so you probably just
the monsoon myself.
the end of the monsoon season. Yes, definitely the end of the monsoon season.
So now I know
which
it has
is
to be my summer break.
summer break. And I think that's another reason why there's so many Americans there around that time of the year as well. And actually Europeans as well, because summer break. Yeah, but yeah, check it out.
Absolutely. Well, let me, where is it? Oh no. Thank you so much, really, for everything you presented. I know
that is quite the journey.
Yes, you did amazingly well. You gave us your time, speaking all the way from London. So it's like 1 a.m. there or something.
1 something in the morning.
Yeah, 1:30. So thank you so much for sharing your passion for Indonesia and where you had your honeymoon, and like you even went again and you're trying to go again because it's so beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing that with us and your journey.
Pleasure.
And for everyone out there, please connect with us. We have a Facebook group where we connect with other Latino travelers. We ask questions about upcoming travels that we have. We share memes, we laugh, we share news, a whole bunch of stuff. So the Facebook group is where it's at. Instagram is the space that we use to feature travelers, because we want to show you other Latinos who are traveling out there, so you could see yourself in those spaces. Like, there are many Latinos, for example, who never even imagined going to Indonesia, but now they're going to see this presentation and they're going to be like, oh, so she went to 3 cities and this is how she did it. She took a flight here and a flight here. And now they're like, their minds starts thinking and turning and making it possible for themselves, just because they're seeing you presenting about that country. So that is just beautiful. So
yeah. And then, you know what, something to add, there are a lot of sales that come from Asia. So if you see it, book it. A lot of sales right now for the future.
This is the time to buy for long-term travel. Like, if you're thinking of going in July, start thinking now, like, let me look for it, That one thing that I used to do when teaching, they will give us our calendar, yearly calendar, usually by the end of May, before of the previous school year. And the first thing I will do is go check when the vacations were, because it changes every year by a couple of days. I'm like, let me go. And then I will start planning my trips like a year and a half in advance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is some serious planning.
Yeah. Because I knew that I had a specific breaks. And the thing is, the breaks with teachers, they usually are high seasons. So everything is usually more expensive. So in order for me to like make my money's worth, I needed to buy in early in whatever trip I was going to go.
Yeah.
So I didn't end up paying premium prices because I'm buying it last minute.
Absolutely. Yeah, good.
Yes, but if you want to contribute so we can keep bringing you events like this, we have a PayPal account. You can send us some beautiful donations, or you can support us by going to our shop. We have amazing insulated bottles that you can use it for all of your travels. We have Latino World Travelers t-shirts, sweater, and now we have our new t-shirt, which is called Perreo Crew. So if you know about us, that idea came up because I'm like, oh, el perreo, when you go to Puerto Rico and dance, el perreo. And then that Bunny came with the song also. That says,
oh, yeah.
And then I figured, oh, crew, the people like la tripulación that's in the airplane. So I'm like, and when you say like, my friends are my crew,
Yeah,
like, combination of like travel and comunidad.
Oh, that's nice.
So I call it, the Perreo Crew t-shirt.
I like that. I love that. That's so nice.
Come to support us, so we can keep bringing these kind of events that are completely free, because we want to share our experience. And our upcoming virtual travel party, as you know, we host them every first Thursday of every month. And the next one is going to be on October 7th, and it's going to be about Croatia. So definitely join us for that one, because that one is going to be amazing as well. I actually wanted to celebrate my birthday next year, which is my big 40th birthday, on Yacht Week in Croatia. So I'm like,
wow.
baby Jesus, make it happen. Right. So I'm excited for that. And un millón de gracias to everyone who attended, to everyone who's watching also in our YouTube channel. I know you're watching because I see like some episodes, they have like up to 75 people who have watched them. So I'm like,
wow.
I'm watching. So this is very rewarding to me, knowing that we can provide something to you that you find useful. And looking forward to seeing you next month. And thank you again, Margarita.
Thank you.
For all of this. And we'll keep in contact. And
Absolutely.
DMs.
Yes, please. Hop over my way. Can I say something though? You know, and like in the Facebook group, it's also important to mention that people post pictures, offers that are happening. It's a very engaging and informative group. So do join. We're quite a good bunch there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Bye. Please do. We'll do. Bye.
Bye.